Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
Oh man, Rick.
Oh, are we doing a Rick and Morty thing?
No, I was talking about Rick.
Did you hear
Dalton.
something? Did you hear something happen to that guy?
Oh, Rick.
Yeah, he got eaten by Mr. Glibglab from season 2.
Oh, that's right. Glib Glob.
Yeah,
You guys remember that show?
that's right.
You guys remember Rick and Morty?
Rick or
Rick and
Morty. Yeah.
Rigor Mortis. Is that? Have they made that joke? Is that why it's
Morty.
called Rick and Morty? Like
I don't
Rick-
think so.
like
I
rigor
think it's
mortis?
because it sounds like Marty and Doc.
That's not. That doesn't sound like that at all. I think. Rick
Okay.
and
You're
Morty.
probably right. It's
Doc
probably
and
rigor mortis.
Marty.
Yeah.
I guess that depends on Doc and Rick, and there's. Hey, call me.
He should have just
call me
been called
crazy.
Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Prof.
his first name
Yeah.
is Emmett, so it's not even like
Yeah, and it's Rick Sanchez and Emmett Brown.
So if you were making a direct parody, which of course Rick and Morty is not a parody. of
That's
Back to
right.
the Future. We just established that. What would you call the characters?
Duck
Duck
and Moby.
and Moby. So his name, it's not Doc. It's not a title. His name is just Duck.
Yeah, just like Duck Phillips from
From Mad Men.
From Mad Men. Yeah, it's that guy,
Yeah.
and then Moby the DJ.
Oh, he would be good in that show. I'm rewatching the show right now. I just got to the point where he's there.
Doesn't he? He's like is he an asshole? I mean, everyone's like kind of an asshole. In
Well,
this
yeah,
one. He's
yeah,
Like
he
he's like a
tries
sad
to-
guy,
he-
right?
Well, he's just like a hardcore alcoholic, and he takes a shit on
he
Don's
and I
desk
both.
or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If anyone from my work is listening to this, I'm actually not an alcoholic. I'm actually a
Yeah.
really responsible drinker. RD,
That's
as they
right.
call me, RDJ.
Robert Downey Jr. He was
Jarvis,
a-
can
he-
you please
he's responsible
take that
now.
Ultron down, please? I don't know. That's not.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at the Robert Downey Jr. I can't do like Robert Downey Jr. I can't do like a Brad Pitt or a Matt Damon. I'm not good at the these Hollywood leading men types. You
Well,
know?
okay. What if you did like if the president needs to know about it? What about that? You could do that line.
Oh yeah, it's like they just fired a starting gun. That's just
Yeah.
me doing an intense voice. I don't know. Let Ross Marquand or that one guy who does things on TikTok, let him do it, you know?
Yeah, let the guy who does things on TikTok do it.
Yeah, let TikTok do it actually.
the TikTok voice guy.
Yeah. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Style and Direction, a menswear podcast without the stuffiness.
Yeah.
I
What would
am-
they say in the
yeah.
medieval times? Not to jump ahead, but
Yeah.
how would avast? No, that's more like pirate.
Well, hey, we'll get
Well,
into that in a second
ahoy.
too.
Yeah.
Ahoy hoy.
Minoy noi.
That's right.
No, I mean, yoy.
Remember that guy?
That's my nickname.
He was in Mad Men too. Not a lot of people remember his episode, but there
Who?
was an episode where they met Doodle Bob.
Oh, Doodle Bob. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He went to Sterling Cooper, Draper Price, and they were like, "We need to sell this guy."
Sell him a pencil.
That's right. We need to sell this guy. He's working for the pencil company.
Yeah.
Um,
Ticonderoga.
they need to work on the
or
pencil
whatever.
campaign.
Is
Yeah,
that,
that's right.
Yeah. Number 2 pencil.
number 2, and Don's
Yeah.
like, "I can think of another number 2."
I'm thinking
And then Duck says,
Thinking
"Just
of a
check out
W.
your desk." And then
That's right. Yeah.
here's that weird I don't get about taking a shit on someone's desk. You know,
Okay.
like that presumes.
There's only one thing.
Yeah, that presumes a clean poop. And
You're right. Yeah.
and it's like are you gonna throw out the pants, throw your pants out like afterward? Like I mean,
Well, what if you bring a roll of toilet paper with you?
okay,
You know,
take a
then
shit.
I think then it's fine.
and then you wipe,
Yeah.
and then I get it. It's a double. It's a twofer. I get that's
It's a twofer,
That's
yeah.
funny because you take a shit and then
'Cause you just leave
you
it.
leave you
Uh-huh.
leave the messy toilet paper on the desk. So they gotta oh shit, I
Yeah.
gotta clean up the shit and the shit covered toilet paper. The STP.
I think people are really gonna like how we're starting this episode.
yeah, 'cause this is for you, Kiyoshi.
Shout outs to Kiyoshi.
My name
less
is
than
Ethan
5
M.
minutes.
Wong.
I'm Spencer DSO.
And
That's my
I'm
name.
MJ.
Welcome, guys. This is not. You might be saying, "Hey, whoa, this sounds like a bonus episode," because there's just crazy stuff happening.
There's Back to the Future.
There's Back to the
and there's
Future.
poop.
You know, we poop.
Yeah.
We haven't done our Mad Men retrospective yet. I mean, hey, if we run out of big topics of menswear, because I think we're getting pretty close to canonizing exactly how we put outfits together. So what happens after that? Watching every episode of Mad Men and talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah, we're just gonna become a Mad Men recap podcast.
That's right.
How about that?
And then
Starting
after
from
that,
the pilot.
After that, then we do.
Then after that, we're gonna start talking about Family Guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who? Okay, who was that one? Was that Spencer? Was that you?
Yeah.
What
No,
the
it was
The look.
the horn.
Oh, the horn? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my little my neighborhood grocery truck. They make that sound.
The look
They make that
cucaracha thing.
sound. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. So hopefully,
Yeah, close
we don't
that.
hear that anymore.
Close that door.
Uh-huh.
What's the thing I said? Open up that fridge, right? Is it that because it's a
Open up
cold?
that fridge.
Yeah, cold open. Call back to like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But hey, you know, we want to take a break from talking about big topics because you know we only got so much of those. But hey, we did some fun stuff lately, and because everything is an opportunity to talk about how we get dressed, we're gonna talk about a couple stuff.
That's a couple stuff.
Yeah, a couple stuff. CP. Wait, hold on. CS.
Oh no.
CS.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, if you guys have followed me on Instagram or TikTok, you guys have probably already seen the video recaps I've been doing. Also, I'm putting stuff on. I'm putting reels now. Not like a typical reel. I'm just doing my little recap videos of fun stuff. Of the little drop that. Of the fun stuff we get up to. Although the most viewed reel I have is the video of Michael talking about how he found socks in the alleyway behind his house.
That's right.
That has like 40,000 views, and I'm like, Jesus, like, it
Yeah,
just makes me
he did
think
find
I
some
don't
alleyway
even need to
socks.
make like my little fun vloggy recap silly videos. I just need to film. I'm gonna put all the random stuff that we do, all the stuff like Spencer ad-libbing about O.J. Simpson, and we'll get into that later on today in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, first off, we had Dapper Day recently. Kind of a
DD.
kind of a you know. By the way, the theme
Double D.
to all three of these things is that we're going back in time. And Dapper Day, like I said in the blog post, kind of already baked in. You know, it was made inspired by the old 50s illustrations, the concept art that the Disney Imagineers imagined families and teens wearing you know, sport coats and ties to ride a carousel, you know, to check out the Carousel of Progress, to go on the Disneyland Railroad where you get to see dinosaurs in the volcano or something. I haven't been on that ride in a long time.
It's fun.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs and the volcano are there.
There's
It's on
one
the train.
There was one time where while we were on the train, this is back in college, you know, because it kind of goes backstage a little bit. You know, you don't really see too much of it, but there is a little section of it near what do you call it? It's Small World, but there's like a little gate for like where the parade is, you know, because that's where like the ending of it is. And one time we passed by it, and all the princesses were there, and they were all waving to us, all of them.
Whoa.
And I think
You're the luckiest man on earth.
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Because my baby Aurora, she's got the bangs. It's also like, I mean, we've talked about this before, but like, all the Disney princesses look like they are from the era, not from, I mean, a little bit from the era of the setting, but also like the era of like when they were made. So like, Snow White has like 1930s like almost Betty Boop hair with like really short.
Yeah.
Aurora's got like the late 50s or 60s like bangs, which is the ultimate version. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, have you seen there was something I saw a long time ago, that was like a guide to the makeup that they gave the Disney princesses through the decades, and you could tell like in the 80s they all looked like they all had 80s makeup, and like same thing with the 90s. I don't know what they do now. But that is one thing that I think they kind of changed with the times, the makeup styles that they put on the.
Oh yeah,
princesses.
I mean, Ariel looks straight out of like 1989 or whenever that movie came out. Even her dress, like the big poofy sleeves, you know, like a little prom thing. She's even got like the big like the comb over thing, like bang thing on her hair, I guess. But yeah,
head.
but Dapper Day is, you know, even though it doesn't have to be 50s, they encourage some kind of vintage, or I mean, they encourage you to dress up first of all, but there is kind of an inherent uh, retro feel to Dapper Day. And we can quickly talk about what we wore to it. MJ, what did you?
Absolutely.
Well, MJ, was yours? Yours was kind of like more agnostic. I feel like yours was like a typical. I mean, I feel like I wore the exact fit at some point, because he's wearing literally
Yeah.
my clothes. But
Yeah.
his yeah.
Spoiler, it was a past Ethan Dapper Day inspired
Hell yeah, it is, baby.
fit, because I mean, obviously the main parts, the natty suit, and then
The beret.
the beret. I think you did wear a yellow shirt. I don't know if it was the exact.
Oh yeah, because it
Brooks
could be because that
Brothers
shirt is from me too.
Yeah. Obviously the tie is different, but it was. I think you also wore like a brown tie or like some burgundy tie. But yeah, very very much Ethan cosplay that day for me.
Yeah, hey man, I have so much outfits. It's if anyone out there is strapped for a look, they got to get some inspiration. You can just look at whatever the hell I wore because I'm bound to have worn something that you are thinking of wearing, which is also kind of funny because in the Wee Johns, shout out the Wee Johns Discord, someone tagged me, or like one of the mods was like, "Hey, do you have an inspiration album for like black knit ties?" And I say, "I don't, because they're the easiest thing to wear. I don't need to be like inspired to wear them."
You just put them on, man.
Yeah, and so, but I guess maybe I gotta make one, but yeah, I think it's funny because like I definitely have some black knit tie outfits that I shared. For anyone who needs it, I guess I can make one. If people need to be inspired to wear a black knit tie, it's really easy. Although I will say, like everything, I have a specific look that I do them with, and it's called Ivy. Spencer, yours,
right.
yeah, you were still retro, but like you were, of course, dressed down more than usual that particular Dapper Day.
I decided not to wear a tie. Just because I don't know, I got dressed that morning and I was putting it together and that's what I was feeling.
Hey, that's what matters, baby. No context.
That's right. Yeah, so I was doing my wide white shirt, which I like a lot.
You're
it was
welcome.
Mostly like I wanted to wear that shirt.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about doing it with a tie. In Taxi Driver, there's a scene
Oh, that's right.
where Travis Bickle, attempting to dress up, wears like a white Western shirt with a tie and then a bright red jacket. So I was thinking about doing something like that. But one, I don't have a bright red jacket, and two, when I tried on that shirt with a tie, the tiny collar didn't really look good. So I was like, you know what, no tie today. So I just did.
We're
that
not on that
jeans.
wide flow team, so we can say whatever we want.
That's right.
If Peter's listening, make him bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Fix your collar.
So, yeah, please.
Just do it.
And then my Western corduroy jacket, which is a fun jacket. I got that one for free at a flea market. I don't know if I've talked about this on a podcast.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
But yeah, so I was trying that on. This happened for reference in, I think, I don't know, January or February of last year. And the month is important because I was trying it on. I put it back on the rack at the booth. And then the person running the booth said, "Didn't you like that jacket?" And I said, "I did, but I don't know if I'm going to get it." And she said, "Just take it. Merry Christmas," or something.
Oh, now the setting takes the time period makes sense now.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, "Lady, it's not Christmas, but I'll take it." And so I did.
What would she have said if this took place in June? Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth.
To you?
Maybe, yeah, she would say that to me. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, it's a fun jacket. It's like from the 60s or 70s. It's 3-button. It's got kind of slim lapels, and like I said, it's like a tan or like corduroy, with just the Western yoke, and then like the little reinforcements on the pockets. I like that thing a lot.
Yeah, piping, kind of.
That's right. But yeah, I just did that with cowboy boots for kind of a cool, rugged 60s, 70s, like Los Angeles cowboy look.
Except you're in Orange County.
Except
in
I'm in
2024.
That's right.
But yeah, no, it was a good look. I know a lot of people commented. I mean, what's so funny is that people compliment you guys in my stuff because I post about you guys a lot, and so I got a lot of comments about your jeans. They're saying, "Damn, does he ever wash those?"
I do.
That's right.
But not often.
There you go. That's the only way to get those sick fades. Hey, and maybe we'll talk about denim sometime this year.
At some point, we will.
Yeah.
Denim.
That's right.
Yep, Mario Party. What about Lemon Party? You
He
can't
was-
have a
he was
lemon party
down.
without old Dick.
That's right.
Good
30 Rock.
classic 30 Rock line. I guess, yeah, I was like the most retro because I decided to look like 1934, I guess, kind of. I wore a white, I wore my white linen double-breasted suit, which inherently, even though it's made modern by Atelier Fugue, it has an inherent like 30s, 40s look to it with the, you know, swelled edges, the wide set buttons, of course the wide leg and everything like that. And I haven't worn, you know, a white suit and a boater. I guess I kind of did last year, but I wore it kind of casually with like a loop collar shirt and some sandals. But this time I wanted to do it proper, and it kind of reminded me of like, you know, why. I mean, when my first ever Dapper Day that I went with a group, I did wear a boater there, not a white suit. But I always thought that would be a cool idea, and you know what? I wore it. And it was great. I loved it with my.
It was cool.
That's right. I wore it with my like brown or tan multi-stripe shirt, which looks very like 20s, which is going to be now MJ's. I just washed it, so next time I see him, it's going to be given to him because the neck is just a little bit too tight.
Wave to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I wore that also with a 30s like crushable tie, which I thought was really, really kind of fun, kind of a tonal look. I didn't want to do too much of a foulard. The crushable tie is called that because you can crush it and it doesn't wrinkle, and it has kind of a fun
That's
like
right.
tonal stripe through it. So again, a very tonal like brown on tan on brown for my shirt and necktie. And then I wore that with my brown suede shoes, which if you listen to my our shoe episode, which is the one before this one, feels inherently vintage. I feel like suede shoes, you know, people, obviously you can wear those today. I feel like today it gets a little bit more like you wear suede shoes with jeans. It feels very hashtag menswear. And so wearing that with like, again, a very kind of more dandy look, a more 30s silhouette, it feels more golden era. And if you look at old photos, your sporting shoes were almost always suede, I think. You know, like they would call them like nubuck or whatever, or buckskin, especially if they were white. But yeah, I wore some suede Oxfords with it. My only one of my only Oxfords, like I said in the shoe article or in the shoe podcast. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Some other good looks. Me and Hector had kind of the similar vibe. I think he went for like a more 70s white suit. 70s does 20s, with his low buttoning 4-on-1 and the yellow tie, white shirt, aviator sunglasses, and then the newsboy cap, a linen newsboy cap, which I thought was really cool. Very 1974 Gatsby. A little bit of a, and if you guys didn't know, the 70s loved the 30s. I guess the Gatsby's 22, so I guess that's not really 30s.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, there's a lot of fascination with the past. But that was kind of our first retro thing that we were going to discuss today. We had a lot of it kind of recently. I forgot that. I mean, this is kind of like also like our year of cons, like our year of like just going to things.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, you know, yeah, there's
Our
Dapper
year of
Day.
events.
Yeah, year events. There's Dapper Day. We had, you know, we have our upcoming stuff that we just talked about, and of course we're in Anime Expo. Maybe there'll be a bonus episode in July whenever we do that one. A lot of fun. But you know, I know a lot of people don't have a lot of opportunities to wear vintage clothing or get kind of in that mood unless they really, really want to. And I guess we're just blessed to have these kind of retro themed occasions that just kind of lets us put stuff together. Obviously for me, my inherent style has it, but it's of course, like I wrote in my Dapper Day article, it's nice to have an excuse to like fully send it. You know, while I could wear a boater and a linen suit any day I want to, it kind of just makes more sense to wear it to Dapper Day than it does to like go to
Yeah.
a coffee shop. Not saying that I won't do it, but I mean, it probably will happen.
You know,
but, you know,
you're gonna be surrounded by other people wearing boaters at Dapper Day, so it's gonna, it's just gonna feel more natural, I guess.
yeah, and hey, you know, just because I said it, I'm sure I'm gonna wear it to get coffee at some point. But you know, it's just, yeah, like much as I said, it just kind of makes more sense. But one of the bigger things that we did, one of the bigger parts of this episode, was that we had a 1980s party that we went to.
That's right.
Actually, specifically 1989 Fairview prom. What is Fairview High School? What is that a reference to? Because I know what Shermer
I don't
High
know.
School is.
Is that just a random high school that they came up with? We're probably gonna look like
I think it's a
Dummies.
real high school, but it's
Okay, it
mean,
is
it's
a
not-
real
it's
high
not
school.
here, right?
It is a real high
Right.
school. There's a lot. There's a lot of them actually. um,
Yeah.
I'm looking at Fairview. Nope. I don't know what this stuff is. I mean, there's a movie called -1 that was made by people who went to the Fairview High School in Tennessee.
There's
But
a movie called Lone Wolf from 1988, which I believe is set at a Fairview school. It doesn't say Fairview High School, but I found one review that mentioned Fairview School. And I think that it's a werewolf movie.
yeah, what I want is someone to tell
kinda
me
fun.
about how much they love Shermer High School and Ferris Bueller, because then I'll tell them. Actually, it wasn't. That wasn't where Ferris Bueller went. Shermer High School is Breakfast Club,
That's right.
and John Hughes didn't direct Animal House.
Of course not. I just want to sit down, have a tab.
I gotta put this on. I'm a.
Yeah.
This is the job. Just wait till our episode.
We should watch that movie again.
I watched it recently at James's house.
Oh man.
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
It was after. Yeah. Here's okay. So James, I think this. I'm sure we'll interview him at some point. He's a fascinating guy with a lot of great style and a very minimal style because he just doesn't own that as many clothes as we do, and so he naturally just wears the same thing over and over again. But James, James is like a real. He's like a real artsy hipster guy. I don't think that's
right.
It's super accurate, but I was at his house. We were eating Korean barbecue. His roommate Max was cooking that up. Shout out Max.
Took it that.
But we did watch. We watched the what do you call this? The Princess Bride for the first time. Well, for me, I guess, in its entirety, because I watched it during the pandemic and I fell asleep. It was one of those times where I was just watching movies all day and applying the jobs, and so at 3 o'clock in the morning, you think, oh, I'm gonna start this beloved classic, and then you fall asleep, and then you're like, okay, I'll get to it some other time. But we were like, oh, 80s movies. Let's watch a movie that should have been made in the 80s, and that movie was Ready
Would
Player
that
One.
movie? Would that movie work if it was made in the because
Actually,
everything is about like 80s nostalgia.
it should have been like a
I guess
2000s movie, and then it would have been like that could have worked.
It could have been. Here's what you could have done. It could have been set in the 80s, but it's set in just the near future or whatever, and that's why they don't reference like any pop culture newer than that.
Yeah.
I saw something. I think it was about Ready Player One. I think I read that somewhere they wanted to have, quote, like future pop culture. Like it's like, they're going to reference stuff from the 80s, but then they're also referencing stuff from the 2030s that exist in that movie's universe. But they tried writing it and they couldn't do it in a way that just made any sense to the audience.
Because it would just sound like an Ethan
Without-
joke. Like
couldn't
I'm just like,
predict the
hey,
future.
Showbo, like get out of here. Because that's a reference.
Yeah,
to,
Showbo,
yeah.
remember from the cartoon Showbo
The
from
Showbiz
20,
King?
45?
Yeah.
The streaming service Doobie DB.
Doobie DB.
That's right. Gaga Gigo. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I just I watched the whole Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
deep dive on
That's a
the
silly name for
The
a card.
art lore.
art. Like, did you watch that? Did you
of
get that
cards.
too? Gaga, the story of Gaga Gigo.
The Gaga Gigo.
I swear we're not crazy. Look it up, guys. Gaga Gigo on Google. But no, yeah, we watched Ready Player One, and so anyway, James had a triple birthday recently, and the theme
He
was
aged 3 years in one day.
yeah. He was a little bit of a curious
He went to the
case.
beach that made you old, but
Yeah.
just for a couple minutes.
Yeah, he was able to get out in time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he had a triple birthday, and the theme of it was 1989, our 1980s prom night, which was actually a lot of fun because I think a lot of people assumed it was a 1980s party, because and then when I said, "Oh, I'm trying to do this look," they're like, "Oh, why is that a prom photo?" And I'm like, "It's because the theme of the party is prom." And they're like, "Oh shit." But of course, you could be, I guess, a random adult or a parent, and I think most of the people there kind of did a generic 80s like vibe.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, you're guilty of it.
I'm guilty of many other things too.
But
Crimes.
actually, no. I mean, I think
If the glove fits.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I think most people kind of go on theme? Because here's some
There
other
were a
looks.
decent number of people
Yeah.
who were wearing kind of prom looking outfits.
Yeah, okay, so one of the reasons why the impetus of this is because of the movie Lisa Frankenstein came out a couple months ago.
I
And
forgot about
when
that movie.
you're a big Tumblr person, they liked it, but I'll just tell you, I did not like this movie. I think the movie's not good. Um, I think it's
I'm a
charming.
fan of
I think it's
Diablo
kind of
Cody.
charming, but it's not. It's just not good. But I could see, like having that in the zeitgeist, I guess, inspire this prom party. But a lot of the girls who were in attendance did go for a like 80s goth prom look, which also just kind of felt like, because I know some of them, they just kind of look like what they would wear normally at like if they were wearing a
Yeah.
dress, because like yeah, if they weren't wearing a dress, it'd be like kind of Y2K goth, like kind of seen with low rise jeans. But of course for this, they're wearing like a black dress, corset, lots of like curly hair, which I thought was really really cool. um but yeah, everyone's kind of doing a Lisa Frankenstein, and I really thought that everyone looked really really cute. um Epiphany wore a like the pretty in pink dress, and she even did like the hair just like it. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the front ponytail.
There you go. Front ponytail.
Pretty in pink. Here we go. Yeah, what does she do in the prom scene? No, okay, no, she doesn't do that. Okay, I actually don't know what Epiphany was doing with her hair. It was a reference to something else,
She was doing something
because also
crazy.
Epiphany doesn't have short hair like Molly Ringwald. But yeah, she wore a pink dress from that, very prom-esque. Maddie, I think, wore like a 80s business suit, which I think was kind of funny, with like a
That was pretty
turtleneck.
good. Yeah.
She did her hair like that too. Isabel also did kind of like an 80s look where, I guess it was kind of more like 90s kind of grungy. She wore like a floral dress with like straight hair and like the
Mm.
red lipstick. I mean, my girlfriend looks great. But James himself, the birthday boy, wore a Violent Femmes t-shirt and then a tweed jacket and trousers. And
Love the Violent Femmes.
yeah, VFs.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna look up the creature from
The creature
Lisa
from the
Frankenstein.
creature.
Yeah, from the creature. And I think there is a photo. Oh yeah, he is wearing a tweed jacket, like her dad's old tweed jacket with a you know the band T-shirt, and of course he did look like a zombie. He looked like the
He
creature
did look like a
himself.
zombie. He had the whole look.
I wonder if he got that off of Amazon, because I think he has the exact same shirt. It's the exact
He
same.
might. Yeah, I'm seeing the picture now. That is a Violent Femmes t-shirt he's wearing.
Yeah, and if you look up the creature from, yeah, the creature from Lisa Frankenstein, he also had the tanning goggles, because that's what brings the creature not to life as you would think, because I don't know why it's called Lisa Frankenstein, because what brings him to life is a ball of lightning. I guess that's kind of Frankenstein,
Ah,
but like it wasn't like she wasn't like trying to make him. Like it just made him into a zombie, and yeah. So that's the story of Lisa Frankenstein. But that's what James wore. Pretty good. It's a very specific look. I mean, it could work today. Honestly, I think a lot of hipsters would wear a Violent Femmes t-shirt with a tweed
yeah, a
jacket.
bunch of freaking hipsters
Just,
like that
just
too.
look at Silver Lake.
That's right.
There you go.
Brandon, the other birthday boy, went for like a jock look. He had like his dad's old 1980s Letterman jacket, which I think is kind of awesome, kind of cool to wear a family heirloom like that. His dad's not dead; he's just borrowing it from his dad. And he had a crossbody bag. But you guys had interesting outfits. How did you guys make your
Sure
fits
did.
for for this 80s party? How did you get into the retro mood?
I watched a movie from 1989 before I left,
Okay.
which was, of course, called Fortress of America, and it's spelled in the Maoist way, where it's instead of a C, it's a KKK.
Nice.
And it was just a pretty dumb action movie about a militia group that's terrorizing a town. I gotta be honest, I just kind of had it on in the background while I was doing other stuff in my room and would just look up occasionally. It's on Tubi. It's kind of fun.
Tubi.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. So if you get a chance, check that out. It's from Troma. So if you like those kind of trashy movies, like I said, it's pretty fun. But I have a pretty limited selection of 1980s looking clothes, because I don't really like 80s fashion that much, to be honest. So I put together an outfit that I liked based with the stuff that I had, which was my J. Crew rugby shirt. I had my Kamakura denim like button-down shirt underneath that. A 70s or early 80s LL Bean vest, which I like. It's got a lot of sun fading, so it doesn't really look... It looks vintage. That was kind of something I was like, I wished it looked a little bit newer specifically for this look. But it's still fun. And then my Coors Banquet ball cap, which, you know, I feel like that does seem like, you know, like when I watched My Bloody Valentine or something, I feel like I saw a guy wearing like a beer ball cap in one part. And then just did that with some khakis and my 70s Nikes. But I was definitely doing more early 80s than 1989.
Yeah.
And of course, I brought a prop, which I was planning to bring on anyway, but it became super topical the day before, because a while back I picked up a copy for free of the 1983 guide. That's right, yeah. For the 1983 guide to football card collecting from O.J. Simpson. And so it's got him on the cover. It's got his signature and all that stuff. It's not his real signature. It's not an actual signed book, because then that would be probably a lot more expensive. But the party was the day after he died. So then I was like, I definitely got to bring this now.
Yeah.
And so I was, you know, educating people on what kind of cards they should buy and how much they're worth, etc. There's a lot of good info in that book if you are collecting cards, and also in the year 1984.
Nice. Tell that to George Orwell.
But yeah, I feel like my look was, again, more like, you know, sometime between 1980 and 1984 than it was 1989. It was really, you know what would be funny?
What's funny?
To dress like Winston from 1984 or something like that for the party.
Yes, that would be good.
Yeah.
We gotta dress like, we gotta watch, do a little episode on American Crime Story.
Oh, that's right.
The OJ Simpson.
That's I really like that miniseries. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then we're gonna do one with Clive Owen as Bill Clinton.
That's right. How did you see the one about the Versace?
No, I did not
murders?
see that one.
I didn't finish that one, but I liked it, and I feel like there's a lot of good clothes in there.
I mean,
we can maybe just do the world of fucking.
What's name?
What's the name of the showrunner? The American Horror Story guy.
Fuck!
I hate him. He's the busiest man in television.
I forgot what his name is.
I can't believe I forgot his name. I talk about him more. Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, Ryan Murphy,
the king of television.
MJ, how did you make your outfit? You're the only one who was in black tie or an actual prom outfit.
Yeah, I guess I leaned more into the prom aspect versus the 89 aspect, because I really didn't know what I was gonna wear. So I don't know. I just looked up 80s proms and I was like, well, guys have always been wearing tuxedos to prom, so
that's right.
There was my chance, and yeah, I wore it with I did the. I guess it was another Ethan cosplay because I wore my sandals with them, so that was fun. But yeah, that was my prom fit that I never got to wear because I didn't have a high school prom.
That's right.
Neither did I, because dancing is evil.
Will kill you.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, you should have had like a corsage and like a boutonniere, you know?
Yeah. I'm allergic to flowers, though.
Oh, so. Well.
Come on, man. Come on. No, yeah, so for me, I also looked up 1980s prom photos, and yeah, there was a lot of black tie, but I was like, I don't know, like, every time I wear black tie, I feel like I always do it too elegant, like, it doesn't seem like it's 1980. I'm very aware that my hair is not 80s, and so I think that was kind of a detractor for me. I don't have, like, my flock of seagulls, 1980s teddy boyish hair. I tried, didn't look good, didn't stay in the way I wanted it to, and I didn't have any hairspray, so I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this. But I did get inspired by a photo that I saw on the internet of a guy wearing
Whoa.
like
They
probably
have photos on the internet now?
That's right. A guy wearing like a gray double-breasted, probably like a shark skin or some kind of like silk suit with a black shirt and bolo tie, and I'm like, well, that looks definitely 80s. I'm gonna do that. And so, and the good thing about my Atelier Fugue suits, just like I said earlier, is that they're cut wide. So even though I tend to wear them in the 40s or 30s and 40s style, just with some detail changes in the shirt and accessories, you can make it spin 80s, because there's a lot of similarities between the two. And so
That's right.
I rolled it down to the one. I had a black shirt. I was gonna wear a black Western shirt, but I feel like that made it too Western. So I just wore a black point collar shirt. I also added a double-breasted 80s sweater vest, which is probably a women's sweater vest, but it looked pretty good anyway. And then I did wear a bolo tie with it, but I know that when you look at like Ducky from Pretty in the Pink, in the Pink, hell yeah,
Pretty in the Pink.
if you look at Ducky and Pretty in Pink, and just like and even the source material, it's more of like a stone bolo tie. And I didn't have that. I tried my best to find some. I looked even the day before. I went to the antique malls. Didn't want to spend like $200 on like a turquoise silver one.
Are there any of the like Western wear stores in like Pasadena? Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
have a
no,
couple
yeah,
in, like,
you would
Santa
think.
Ana
And I
stuff
went
like
in
that.
there, and they don't sell bolo ties. They sell like,
What the hell?
yeah, I guess because like Western wear now is like a severely unbuttoned polyester snap shirt with like jeans. Like they're
Well,
not.
I gotta say, this is a slight digression, but I went into the Western store in Santa Ana for the first time last week when I was killing time downtown. They got some good stuff in there. We should go in and check it out. They have a
Okay.
huge selection of boots that are pretty nice. They do have a couple like Western suits, but unfortunately those are all polyester as far as I can tell. But there's some cool stuff in there. They did have bolo ties. They had a lot of bolo ties.
Damn, yeah, mine just straight up did not have that. It
Yeah.
felt like what the Western store near my house felt like a boot and jean store. Sorry,
Okay,
and like
yeah.
maybe like some like shirts, like that's it. And like I walked in, and they started speaking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, oh, I'm not Hispanic, I'm sorry. And they're like, oh yeah, can we help you? And I'm like, oh, I'm looking for bow ties. Like, oh, like we don't got any. And I'm like, damn. Yeah, it was like, it wasn't like the most, like it was just like stacks of stuff. So, definitely like just
Yeah.
like a like a almost like a surplus store.
It was
of
like the
Western wear.
stack store almost.
Yeah. I'm making that stacks. But yeah, I wore a bow tie from my girlfriend's sister's husband. And the only bow tie he had was like a star. And so I was like, well, definitely a little bit more Western than I had wanted, but I think it worked pretty well for what I was going
It
for.
worked.
And I did also wear sunglasses, my Wayfarers, and white socks and loafers, because that's kind of like an 80s, what's his name? Michael Jackson, MJ.
That's right.
That's right. So I did that.
MJ.
And yeah, I think
That's
the fit
me.
looked pretty good. I think it worked exactly for what I wanted it to. And it was good. Again, another good excuse to put those things together. Maybe in the future I'll do bolo tie. I think bolo ties are kind of cool, but I do prefer bandanas over bolo ties. But of
Yeah.
course that's
I do
Western
own
and
a
not
bolo
80s.
tie.
But you own one?
I own one because I was thinking about wearing one for New Year's before I finalized
What is it?
my
What's the
look.
design on that? Why didn't you tell me? I could have just borrowed it from you.
Because I was also for a second I was not sure if I was gonna go, so I didn't want to offer
Oh, okay.
and then not show up. But yeah, no, I got a couple from Joyride because they also do have them pretty cheap over there. And so I got one that I've never worn. It's just kind of sitting there.
What is it?
I don't even remember. I will, after we're done recording, I will fish it out and then take a picture and we'll include it somewhere.
Okay.
So, and then the readers can be like, when they see it, they'll know that I own it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll
I'll
know
say,
that I own it.
yeah, I'll add it as Spencer's bolo tie in the photos.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think, and everyone, we had a great time. Everyone was super nice.
Yeah, people looked good.
Yeah, people definitely looked good.
What?
Yeah.
How much do you guys like or appreciate 80s fashion because I've already outed myself as a hater for the most part. I like a lot
Wait,
of
when did you
the.
say that? I don't even know when you said.
I said that earlier. I said
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't have a lot of 80s clothes because I don't really like 80s fashion that much. I guess I like the more, same thing with everything. I like the more like rugged casual looks, like the kind of outdoorsy things, or like, like the fucking like 80s trucker kind of look or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm not a big fan of like the gray and like pastel two-tone shirts or whatever.
Well,
The
okay.
peg
Let me
jeans.
tell
Not
you.
a fan
Yeah,
of those.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I think across most stuff. Actually, that's not true. But I'm not a huge fan of like youth styles, especially. Like I think youth from like the '70s, '60s, '50s, '40s, all the way down is good. But like after the '70s, I'm not a huge fan of youth styles. I know that kind of tends to characterize a lot of the retro looks.
Yeah.
Might even say that that's the zeitgeist when we look at the past through rose-colored glasses. And so I agree with you there that I'm not a huge fan of like pastels and like light wash. I mean, I do like light wash jeans, but I don't wear it like
But
super.
not like the acid wash or the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say that I like I like trad looks of every era because my heart lies in
That's
suits. Maybe not a huge fan of like the kind of like the more you know fashion forward like Miami Vice stuff. I'm not a huge fan of wearing like a t-shirt and like a suit, at least in that way. I mean, if I did, it'd probably be like more of like a knit tee or something like that to kind of give some more texture and slouch to it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like of 80s cuts for jackets, especially with like low buttoning points and exaggerated shoulders or overly exaggerated shoulders. But I like some of the ideas from it, and if you look at like trad publications or even like professors, artists from that time, I know Darren on Instagram, shout him out, but he always posts a lot of great GQ and Esquire advertisements, editorials, spreads from issues of the 80s and 90s. And so I like that. And to me, it's like the last time we looked close enough to Esquire, man. Because they're all wearing like foulard ties and striped shirts. Some of them are wearing collar bars. I mean, it sounds like I got to make an article on like looking to the past. So keep an ear out for that one. But yeah, I think I generally like it, and I could have done a yuppie look because I love doing that shit. It's like it's very similar to my '30s Esquire man, just with a little bit of a change of like how I style the shirt and tie combination, and maybe even where I roll the buttoning point to. But of course, this was a prom party, and so I wasn't able to do like gray suit, blue striped shirt with like a burgundy food. I couldn't look like Niles Crane or whatever, and so that was kind of like but it wasn't too bad. I like the opportunity to kind of branch out and wear a fun outfit. And as I later saw, as I was going through my old photos, my old saved photos, my outfit is pretty close to an outfit my dad wore. I mean, he wore gray pants, a bolo tie, and a black button-up shirt. He did have crazy big hair though, which I could not do in time for this. But what about you, MJ? Do you like the 80s?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just like Ferris Bueller, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Have you guys seen anything from
No,
Miami Vice?
I've only seen like the Ned's Declassified,
Okay.
the Vice Principal Krubs.
Yeah. I haven't seen a full episode, but I rewatched the clip from the pilot where they they're driving around, they're playing Coming in the Air Tonight. And holy shit, that was like maybe like I feel like I watched it in like high school or something when I first like heard about the show. But I rewatched it like in preparation to get in the 80s mood, and that scene is so good. I might have to start watching the entire show because oh my god, it was so. I'm gonna send it to you guys and you can watch it afterwards. But one of the best scenes in television history, in my opinion.
The theme goes da 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 da, right?
I couldn't probably. I couldn't tell. Again, okay. I haven't seen a full episode. I've just seen this specific 3 or 4 minute clip.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've never watched Miami Vice either. I know it has like a fun rap within menswear because of like, oh, you don't want to look like that, but nowadays people want to look like that. It's weird to think about how menswear has like, there was like a season where like people did do Miami Vice, like, t-shirts with suits, and then then we did like 70s, and I don't know. We love the past. We love
do.
it so much. In fact, we love it so much, and we go back even further.
That's right. Hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years to the Renaissance.
Renaissance.
The 1490, I don't know, like 1500s, 1600s?
I guess, yeah. I think, do people say, like, you know, Columbus, did that kick off the Renaissance? I know that around the 1490s is, I think, when it's accepted to have started. I could just be talking about off my ass right now, but I do recall that.
Yeah. The Italian Renaissance.
Yeah, 15th and 16th
15th
centuries.
And 16th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a while ago, when I said
long
medieval earlier,
Renaissance?
I was off because, of course, the medieval era and the Renaissance era do not coincide at all.
Yeah, what's medieval? That is
I guess
500 to 1500.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, the Italian Renaissance historian Giorgio Vasari.
That's right.
Wow, this guy. Wait, he like lived during that time. It's funny to like, you know, wouldn't that just be called a journalist? Because it wouldn't be a historian.
I guess.
But anyway, the Renaissance Fair.
The pleasure
we
fair.
went last year. Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah.
You know, we went last year for the first time, and for me, the first time in years. There is one photo of me, which I included in the previous article, where I went to the Renaissance Fair for the first time, and I was like in like Gurkha short. It's a really awesome outfit, honestly. It's khaki Gurkha shorts, a khaki linen jacket, and a Breton striped T-shirt. It's very casual, Ethan, in summertime. But I went to the Renaissance Fair, and there's a picture of me with a TARDIS booth. I guess someone had brought that in there, which is kind of funny.
Right.
And we went last year, which was a lot of fun. Spencer joined us for that time. But this year, Spencer did not join us, but we did replace him with like 5 people because
That's
we went
right.
with a
I
big
was
group
replaced.
this time. And we really leaned into it. I mean, this was a lot of fun. I definitely, last year I did Saffin Core. This year I went even more Saffin. I guess not really Saffin Core because I guess I kind of went piratey as well.
Well, it was Pirate Day last year when we went.
It was, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, the Renaissance Pleasure Fair is a fun little, it's a celebration and, inspired of things from the Renaissance or of that time period. So you got like, turkey legs, mead, but also you got stuff like Vikings, you got pirates.
Yeah.
There's different themed weekends. So it takes place, at least here in LA. Takes place over the course of like 2 months, and so Saturday and Sundays during those 2 months are the events, and there are also themed specific days or themed weekends.
Yeah.
The one that we went was Pirate Week or Pirate Weekend, and so people could dress up like pirates. And so
they're allowed to, otherwise you get kicked out.
Otherwise it'd be crazy. Yeah. I mean, like I know that they make fun of it in Big Bang Theory, but they say like, oh, they always go wearing Star Trek officer uniforms because they're like, oh no, we're in a new world that's stuck in the 1500s or whatever,
Yeah.
or sorry, the 1600s. But yeah, there were pirates there. There's also cosplay day. I mean, usually there's someone kind of cosplaying. You'll see a Zorro, you'll see a Link,
Mandalorian.
you'll get well, yeah, that was kind of weird. But you'll see like Assassin's Creed. Yeah, there was, I think like almost 2 of them, and I also saw a guy dressed like Ahsoka, and so he had like a little headdress, but that made like the leku for which is the head tails of the of what Ahsoka, Togruta.
I don't know.
Togruta.
I do not know. What
Tortuga.
Yeah.
That's not it.
But I thought that was kind of cool. It was like a braid of like orange and like gray, which I thought was a really fun way of doing it. A couple of High Republic era Jedi, which is kind of like Star Wars's current answer to like the Renaissance or medieval like version of it. Pre the age of the age of Republic.
That's right.
The 3 ages: Republic, Rebellion,
The 3 ages,
and of course, Resistance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, lots of great style there. So I definitely want to play into it. Last year, I wore my kimono coat. I wore a djembe, some wide leg pants, and some sandals. But this year, I definitely leaned even further into it. I wore a newer kimono, which is a bit wider and slouchier. because I outgrew the other one. But underneath, I wore my black Bryceland's sports shirt, which I wore untucked, and I wore a belt around my waist to kind of give that pirate effect to it. I also wore my black gaucho pants from SFC, Scott Fraser. And I did I was debating on wearing sandals, and I'm glad I didn't because it rained pretty hard
Ooh, yeah.
on the way out there. We'll talk about that in a second. But I did wear black cowboy boots, and at first I was just gonna do that. I was just gonna wear boots, but I was like, wait, the boots are tall enough. What if I blouse my pants into it? And I did that, and I think it kind of really worked. It kind of gave kind of like the kind of fun, poofy pantaloon, whatever they call those pants in that era.
Yeah.
Or it just looks like pirates. Pirates are blousing their stuff into their little boots, and so even though my boots aren't like engineer boots or whatever, like the kind of like riding boots, I feel like it kind of worked pretty well. And so yeah. Oh man, Spencer just shared some fits.
Oh
they
yeah.
look
I'm looking up. I just googled like
the tops.
1530s men's fashion.
Yeah, the tops. I love
What are those called? I used to know this because I did theater,
I
but what were those garments called? Like the it's not like a vest or anything or jacket, but I'm gonna figure this out.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go again if anyone wants to go again. I would go again.
Isn't there like a market day or something where they have a bunch of sellers, like local craftspeople?
I feel like they always have those.
Okay.
But yeah, I would definitely go again. But yeah, I wore all of that. I also had a sash, or I had a scarf as a sash, and then I wore this
doublet.
Turkish.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I also wore a Turkish. They call it a Turkish cap. I don't know how accurate that is. If I look up Turkish cap,
I feel like you're gonna see some
1600s.
images.
You're gonna see some.
Okay, so mine
gonna
don't
see some
look
images,
exactly. Mine don't look exactly like this. But because it's not like a fez, but yeah, I wore like this kind of like this little like soft cap thing, and I feel like it also like added straight up to the look too. I feel like it kind of put me firmly there.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little bit less piratey, but now I just wanted to be kind of a townsperson. Epiphany said I looked like I sell things. I have like a shop where I sell my wares, which is kind of fun.
What are you buying?
And I did add some elf ears, some little plastic elf ears or rubber elf ears, so I could be more fantastical. I did forget to bring a ring, but maybe I'll do that next time. And then yeah, I didn't bring a walking stick. I didn't bring like a musket or anything. I didn't bring a sword, so
Are you allowed to bring a musket?
If it has an orange tip.
Okay.
Or if it has they have to piece bond it so you can't fire it.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, con stuff, man. But yeah, that was kind of my fit for it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. MJ, you looked like Jake from the Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Yes. I don't know if that was like in the back of my mind when I was putting stuff together, but I guess it was. Yeah, I did yeah,
There you go.
I guess the big part was when I did the red bandana as a headband, and then I had like a really old, like a high school, or I think I had it since like junior high, this like vest from Express that had like some emblem on the back that was like kind of piratey, I guess, because it said like some stuff like bravery and loyalty or something like that.
Yeah.
So I did that with some brown wide leg chinos from Uniqlo, and I did this scarf around the waist, kind of like the long sash like sort of thing. And yeah, Chelsea boots because I knew it was gonna rain a little bit, so planned ahead there.
Good idea.
It was
planned
a good
ahead.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I thought it was kind of fun that you went for the pirate look for this one.
For Pirate Day.
For Pirate Day.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Yeah, I just couldn't not see Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I think it's just really funny.
Yeah.
I know looking at some of these old photos. I love like I love the headwear because I feel like you could just wear that with like black tie with like different stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I do like the felt like kind of like, and it's not a fedora, but like the kind of brimmed felt hats with like the big feathers.
Oh
Because again,
yeah.
my whole thing is I don't want to buy something just for this. I want to wear what I already have.
Okay, I'm gonna. Would you wear the Da Vinci style cap? And I'm sending a reference photo for that right now, but you might already know what I'm talking about. Well, I'm trying to send a reference photo, but Discord's being a dumbass. But that's
I
also
mean,
kind of like I mean,
yeah.
you'll see it. It's kind of like just a big slouchy hat.
I would love it if I had the the Albert Einstein cap from
There you go.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Oh yeah, I would maybe wear this.
Uh huh.
That's kind of, yeah. I definitely there was a lot of fun hats. I mean, I was even entertaining like a tricorn.
Okay. That those could be fun.
And they were
Like I
selling
mean, like
it
like you
there.
know, like, yeah, but like none of them were like really like the really good ones that I wanted. Like I kind of want like a really really nice one,
Like a
and
professionally like an actual.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny because we know there's a there's a person that wears bicorns and tricorns, and
I
you
think
know it's
Joyride
not really.
makes those. I'm pretty sure they started making pirate hats. So
I love that. I love that for
yeah.
them. But yeah, no, because it's like it's kind of sick. It's kind of like when you wear it with like when you look like Cutler Beckett or something. Like like you don't have to be full on Jack Sparrow, but if you do it like a nobleman, but like in black and gold, I'm like that's kind of awesome.
I think we've
What's
talked about this
funny?
before. We should talk about the pirates
Yeah,
movies.
I know. Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely should. But there was a guy wearing like a naval uniform, like like a 1700s, like Norrington. And I remember a guy said, "Hey, it's Pirate Day, not Navy Day." And I said, "It's funny because he's dressed like a cop, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Well, I mean, they
basically
were
what he's."
privateers. They were pirates hired by governments to sack other like foreign ships and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Captain James Cook
that's right.
was a privateer, I think. Don't
Yeah.
don't quote me on that one. But yeah, I think everyone else had a lot of fun too. Is Epiphany wore a corset, like a nice flowy dress. Isabel made like a Renaissance era dress, like so not a corset, but like kind of like this like the white flowy dress with like the burgundy top part that had sleeves. I don't know what you call it, but she looked
do you
really
call
cool. You'll
that?
see that in the photos. Um, but what I like about this is that there's not just a period, just like with Dapper Day, just like with anything. There's a lot of like different ways of expressing that, and also like what the vibe of the like of the event is. So obviously you can do that kind of stuff. You can do naval stuff. You can do pirate stuff. But you can also do like kind of like metal. Like you can wear like a kilt and like a like a kind of a tunic kind of a thing, which is kind of like even though I don't know how accurate that is, but like it's still very Renaissance fair. There's an inherent like nerdy punk metal vibe to this. You can also just straight up go shirtless, which is what our friend John did. I don't have nearly as good as a physique as John does, and if you look in the video, he looks like a Dorito because he's a fucking beefcake of a man.
There you go.
But yeah, no, he looked great. I mean, he also has like he also has a back tattoo, which I feel like if you got tattoos and you're going shirtless, like that's kind of awesome, But of course, James, as you'll see him in a brief photo later, he kind of has his go-to Renaissance fair outfit that he wears, and then of course his friends who we had seen the night before at the party were wearing also kind of like goth piratey kind of outfits. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like being able to kind of dress up and be in service of something, and to like get inspired to make an outfit. And someone in our Discord said that I look like Skeleton John, which is a brand in the UK, I think. And I would do, like, if you look at it, like that's kind of like, it's like I guess not really John Varvatos, but like just kind of like vampire-y modern take on clothing of this era. And I would definitely wear something like this to the Ren Fair.
There you go.
If you look at, I mean, maybe I'll link some stuff there, but it looks really, really cool. Um, I love that there's like a wow. They have a boater made from rush harvested from the Thames.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
that's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would love. I don't know how I would make another outfit for next year instead
Well,
of just just doing this one. But
I all the images I sent, I figured we can have a brief discussion on that. First of
yeah.
all, I know that you said your policy, you don't want to buy something that's just for Renaissance Fair, but say someone said, I'm going to give you a completely free outfit or something, um, and it's all, you can make it all period accurate, like, 15th or 16th century clothing. What do you think you would do?
It would be that black outfit that you
That
sent
is really
up
cool.
to
That's really
because
good.
that's the because it's got like the pleats and like the ribboning effects or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I love that. I mean, again, that's like Saffin Core is like kind of about this kind of stuff, although this is definitely way earlier. But I really like that. I don't really want to do like multiple colors. If I did, it'd be black and gold. I'm not into like the whole stockings thing. I
Well,
want
unfortunately, I don't think they were wearing pants yet, so you're going to have to wear the stockings.
well, speaking of that, I did, and speaking of Joyride, I did run into our friends from
Oh,
Joyride,
that's right.
Josh
Yeah.
and Rob there, because they are historical reenactors. They don't just do World War II. They also do the Renaissance Fair, and in the photo with them, it's fun, and they're not wearing pants, and you might notice that they have a little bit of a package going on there.
They got the
because
codpiece?
They got the codpiece, and not only is it a codpiece, it is a codpiece that is, uh, it's definitely it leaves nothing to the imagination because it is outlined exactly like your penis.
I mean, there's a photo I sent with the guy in the armor that's wearing a codpiece, and it's kind of the same. It kind of just looks like his dingle is out.
Well, that's still around. I mean, this one has there's definitely. I mean, okay, so I'll say again, Josh and Rob were doing it for. It's not really their penises. It's just a fun little thing that they add to it. But it was definitely it looked straight up like a dildo. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like as if the penis itself was like vacuum formed and not like it wasn't just this. It wasn't just a cover. It was like. Like how I don't know, like an instrument case, how it has the the outlines of how your instrument goes into that case. It was that, but the opposite effect where it just encases the dick and balls, if you will,
That's right.
of our friends. But yeah, it's really really funny, and they also were wearing the fun little shoes. I don't know what to even look up Renaissance shoes. I will say, looking at these, I do love the little kind of dainty hole cut with lacing shoes that people have.
Mm-hmm.
But oh damn, I would absolutely wear something like this, like these Mary Jane velvet shoes.
Those are fun,
That's I would absolutely I would do that with black tie. But no, I can't find it. Of course, as we know, the embroidered silk shoes are some of the earliest shoes. Well, not the earliest, but some of when they get close to what we do now, and of course a lot of mules. I will say a lot of people who were there, if they were wearing modern shoes, was a lot of Birkenstock clogs, which I guess kind of makes sense. I think it's also fun to see guys wearing full on outfits and then wearing Clark's desert boots with it,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of fun. But I mean, hey, it's like at cosplay where you just you can't. Sometimes you gotta wear shoes that you are comfortable in, and especially if it's gonna rain. And I can't find the exact ones that Rob were wearing. I look up multicolor. But yeah, they had some crazy ass shoes. But yeah, I can't find it. Damn it. But yeah, I would do all black and gold or something like that. What was also kind of fun was I found him.
Hey,
Haha, cow mouth style. It was like this. It was like whatever this is. This like square toed shoe. This is what Rob and Josh were wearing.
Oh wow.
And they were like, yeah, these are uncomfortable. And I'm like, yeah,
They
but
look
they're
uncomfortable.
Not, they look like how you truss up a turkey, kind of like what, like the things that go on the ends of the. What do you call that? The aglet of like the feet.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what they're called,
Little boots.
those little things, the little puffy things that go on the end.
The little chef's
Yeah,
hat.
the things that you see, the little chef's hat that you see in like a cartoon turkey. You know. But
Okay,
yeah,
two
they were
cartoon
wearing
foods
those.
I really want to eat. That like a cartoon turkey with those little things. Then the
and-
Tom and Jerry style steak, where it's just a giant steak with a tiny little round bone in the middle.
Are those raw?
I don't know. Let me. Okay, what
Tom and
cut of
Jerry.
steak is that?
Like a T. It's like a. Oh man, people have definitely made this, which I think is really funny.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Man. Yeah, it's okay. It's marbled, so that means it's definitely raw.
Yeah.
In the
Are
cartoon.
you looking at the Oh yeah, it is. The cartoon looks very raw.
I mean, with their animals, they can eat that.
They can eat that.
Yeah, but I will say, I mean, yeah, just look. Oh man, when are we? Oh boy, I'm hungry.
Me too. I need to cook dinner.
Oh my god. But yeah, we gotta go. Yeah, Renaissance Fair, lots of fun.
Yeah.
I want to know what I'd wear next year. I definitely want to make it an ongoing thing. It's the year of cons.
That's right.
'cause,
I've wanted this
yeah.
for a while, but one of those
Yeah.
like Western like lace-up shirts, I feel like that would be good for Renaissance Fair too.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes, I think next year, or hey, if there's no, there's no more flea markets in time for it, because this is the last month of it. But I would love, to get like the lace style, the hippie shirts as we call them.
Maybe
I
like
think that would
like
look
looking
really
at
good.
some of the images that I sent of like peasants or farmers, I feel like a collarless jacket would look pretty good with that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if I were given a free complete outfit, I would love to do like a doublet with the neck ruffles and all that stuff. Just look very silly.
Because you would rock that. Like
I
you
would.
would look, because you've got like the facial hair and the
I got the
whiteness to
facial
like
hair.
really
I
do
got
that.
the whiteness for it. That's right.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of fun. I mean, especially if you're able to wear what you already own. Because I
feel like
don't
pants
know.
are the hardest thing because, like I said, they didn't really wear pants. I guess in some of these paintings of like peasants or farmers, it looks like they're wearing. I can't tell
Some
if those
kind
are
of a
pants.
pant.
I can't tell if those are pants or if those are also just like, like leggings or whatever that they have on.
Right. For Tom and Jerry, is that steak that big because they are small?
That's a good question. I guess, I never thought about that. I think I always just kind of imagined them as being people size,
Human
but of course
size?
but they're not. Well, because it's like, how about you don't really see their owner that often, so I feel like it's hard to get a frame of reference.
Yeah. What about?
And it's-
oh man, that sexy ass cat.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, there's the cat lady.
Yep. Tom and Jerry girl.
That's right.
Well, not the girl mouse, the girl cat, bro.
I don't care about the girl mouse.
Yeah. Dang, a little neck bow, a little pussy bow.
That's right.
That's what they call him, bro. Her
They
name's
do call
Toodles
him that.
Galore.
You're not
Hell
wrong.
yeah, her name's Toodles Galore.
Really quick, before we end it, the other thing that is in the future, we're going to a friend's birthday party, which is what, like, Socratic
my
themed?
God.
What is that? What's the theme for that?
Oh, that's right. It's a Socratic. Yeah, it's a Socratic party.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Do you?
Jesus,
ha- do you-
I don't even know.
Are you gonna do a toga? Are you gonna go to I'm like, if I can go to a craft store and get like a couple bolts of just fabric, because it's like they just wrapped him, man.
You don't have a bed sheet?
I do, but it's blue. It's not white. That's the problem.
I mean, there are multiple
That's
colors.
That's true.
Like if you look up like Socrates.
Maybe I could do like
painting
a curtain.
Vatican.
I could take these curtains right here, my blackout curtains, and try to do something
Look,
like that.
look at this one. Literally, there's different colors.
Okay.
See?
There they are.
There's a multitude of colors.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode where we talk about just things that we went to. You know, it's like an audio blog post,
That's
which
right,
is kind
it's
of
an
what this
audio
was
blog.
supposed to be. You know,
A blog.
that's right. I hope you guys get inspired to have your own, little fits of anger. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right.
To go to little events and get inspired to make some cool outfits and put things together that you would normally put together. Check out your local Renaissance fair. I know our friend Brooks does a lot of LARPing, and he does a really great job because I mean, obviously, if you're into menswear and you're into LARPing, you're gonna make some great outfits. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, really great there. I mean, I would love to go to like a. Is there like Jane Austen night or like
Jane
like
Austen,
some of
like
that
a
stuff?
19th century thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe do more of our like.
You know what you're describing a Civil War reenactment.
A Little Woman one.
Yeah, we could find one of those and dress like it's the 1860s. That might be kind of fun.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys will see the photos of the Socratic one whenever that comes out. But for now, you guys can look at the. Actually, will this come out? No, this is coming out this weekend. At the time of recording, so I guess not. But you guys can check out the blog post where you'll see photos of our 80s night and, of course, the 1580s, the Renaissance Fair photos. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to support us, which we would love, you can go to Style and Direction. Well, before that, you got to put patreon.com/Style and Direction. $5 a month gives you access to our Discord and our bonus episodes where we talk about movies that we watched. Lots of good stuff on that. But $10 a month gives you all that plus some other stuff. Namely, MJ says thank you to you. So MJ, who are we thanking?
Namely, your names are Sidecast Fanatics, Shane Curry, Philip Grigard, Henrik Wilberg, and Alexander Batten.
We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for supporting us. Hope this episode was good for you, even though we talked about taking a shit on someone's desk in the beginning. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.